everyone. Welcome to the Integrity Restored podcast. I'm Jim O'Day, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that's both commonly accepted and increasingly hard to ignore: the pornification of culture, of our society. What does that mean exactly? Why should we be sounding alarms? And I hear this often. Is this just moral panic? Or is there something deeper going on here? What I'm talking about is how sexual imagery, aesthetics, and behaviors that were once confined to, I'll call it the adult entertainment industry, have absolutely seeped into mainstream media, fashion, music, advertising, and even social media platforms where teens and younger kids hang out. Let's get into this a little bit. Pornification, at least my definition, refers to the process by which pornographic, hypersexual imagery and values become embedded in our everyday culture. It's not just about the sex. It's about style. It's about language. It's about our very attitudes. I think of music videos where the choreography mimics what happens in a strip club, or Instagram trends where aesthetics blur the lines between what we would once consider a sexy ad and now total commodification, making others a commodity. From fashion to TikTok, the line between what is sexy and pornographic gets fuzzier and fuzzier by the day. And we know for decades that sex sells. So why not take it even further? Where did this all come from? I think it's easy to see that to some degree, it's always been around. But the increase of internet availability and technology are the key drivers to the explosion of hypersexuality in culture and in media, at least in this guy's opinion. So here's the big question. Does anybody care? Well, obviously we here at Integrity Restored, we care. And ladies and gentlemen, you do too. You're part of our podcast crew. You care. But our church really cares. You see, when pornification is seen through the lens of faith, it recognizes cultural degradation, the lack of true intimacy, the using of another instead of giving to each other, that commodification I talked about. And it certainly recognizes the impact on our relationship with each other and with God. So yes, our church cares. I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands, of parents and educators in my 10 years of doing this work. And they absolutely care. They see how early sexualization affects our kids. They have concerns that our children are being warped in regards to body image, self-worth, and they're certainly concerned about our kids' online safety. The normalization of hypersexual aesthetics, hypersexual activities in platforms like TikTok, Instagram, where teens and preteens are exposed and often participate. Our parents and our educators are very concerned. And this raises tons of questions for them around when and how to actually talk about sex, online safety, identity, body image, media literacy. it raises a lot of questions for our parents. The third group of people who really care more and more are mental health professionals. Think therapists, researchers, social workers. They're paying really close attention now to the links between social media, sexualized identity, and rising levels of anxiety and depression. They're looking at how people are dealing with unrealistic body standards and the impacts of digital self-surveillance, constantly looking, how many likes did I get? I didn't get enough likes. This is all creating anxiety and depression in our society. The mental health folks are looking at how early exposure to sexualized content affects our youth's development, their understanding of consent, and what they expect from relationships. There's a lot of people who do care. This is just a partial list. But there's a whole big group of people, too, who don't care, or they think this is overblown hysteria. And a lot of those people are younger people who are completely immersed in the digital culture as it stands today. And they may not see the line at all. To them, what we call pornification, they may call confidence or freedom or just, it's normal. Everybody's doing it. They are completely part of a group of people, not only young, who are desensitized. Sexual imagery is everywhere, literally 2 or 3 clicks away. And to them, it has just become background noise. The bottom line is people care. People care deeply. But this conversation is so fragmented and so often not even talked about. And we need to change that. I am so grateful you are here, listening to or watching the Integrity Restored podcast, supporting our work by sharing this program or any of our products and services. Hopefully supporting us financially as well as you are able, because we couldn't do this work without you. As our culture continues to get more and more hypersexualized, pornified, these social media algorithms are going to reward attention. And what gets attention? Sex appeal. So platforms like Instagram and TikTok, they walk a really fine line, promoting content that toes the very edge of explicitness. They shadow ban actual pornography and sex education, healthy, realistic, chastity-based sex education. But they will go right up to the very edge of what is truly pornographic. Streaming services blur the lines. Advertisers use sex to sell everything from cars to hamburgers to perfume. And porn sites remain hidden, just 2 or 3 clicks away. Often without, age verifications. And then there is the truth that we've known for decades. If sex sells, what incentive is there to stop? We need to look at the cost. We are seeing generational shifts in how people, especially young people, but this struggle affects everybody, young and old, rich and poor, doesn't matter. How we understand love in this hypersexualized culture, how we understand intimacy, how we understand worth of a human being. When sexual desirability, I guess, becomes your social currency, We risk flattening human identity, human value into just surface appeal. Consent gets confused. Expectations in relationships become shaped by unrealistic media. And most importantly, authentic connection, true intimacy between two people takes a backseat to online curated images. There is no way that we can sit back and not think about the damage that this is causing. This weakens this incessant pornification, this epidemic of pornification weakens our culture, our ability to even imagine what healthy sexuality looks like. A healthy sexuality that includes boundaries, emotional connection, giving of oneself, and respect. This increased pornification warps all those ideologies into pure commodification. How can I get something from that person that I want? Period. So let's ask this question. Is this culture of pornification something we have to accept? Can we truly expect anything to change? Maybe the better question is, how do we, as caring Catholics, how do we reclaim sexuality from the current culture where it is just a commodity? How do we build a culture where sex is understood, respected, not exploited, celebrated, and not sold, and viewed from the light of the gift from God that sexuality is, and we treat it as such? Well, I think it starts with us as individuals, in our families, in our circles of influence, and it starts with educating ourselves and those we love and having these difficult conversations. I say all the time, if you yourself are not struggling with pornography, you absolutely know and love someone who is. Thank you, as always, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Please keep us in your prayers. Please like and share this episode or any of our products and services to help us keep these conversations going. And may God bless your journey.